科学家认为，迟早有一天，地球终将不再适合人类居住。在这一天到来之前，我们必须要加快向外太空探索的脚步，在浩瀚的宇宙当中寻找适合人类居住的星球，寻找其他外星生命是否存在的答案。而这个工作，我们才刚开始，正要起步。欢迎收看《台湾启示录》，我是文祥。我们来看来自美国太空总署 NASA 传回来冥王星最新的照片。这艘无人太空船新地平线号，它在飞了将近10年，飞了将近51公里之后，终于飞到太阳系的边陲地带，让我们有机会能够近距离的观察这一颗神秘的冰冻星球。NASA 科学家振奋地说：“我们再一次证明了人类开拓的潜能，这是历史上的一场重要的胜利。”美国总统奥巴马也在 Twitter 上面恭贺冥王星终于有了第一个访客，但确定人类真的是第一个拜访冥王星的生物吗？最近有2位重量级的美国科学家受到了中研院的邀请，来到台湾访问演说。一位是威廉夏夫，他曾经在1969年到1972年间担任月球岩石样本的研究员，同时间他也是好奇号登陆火星计划的科学家。另外一位，我们来看到吉尔塔特，他则是寻找外星生命的权威，他曾经担任过美国搜寻地外文明计划研究中心的主任，同时也入选过《时代》杂志的100大人物。如果你看过这部电影的话，好莱坞电影《接触未来》，应该知道 Judy Foster 饰演的就是吉尔塔特现实生活当中科学家的角色。很多人都曾经问过吉尔塔特：“你相信有外星生命的存在吗？”他用4张照片来回答。他说：“人类自以为伟大的文明智慧，都发生在这里、这里、这里，还有这里。”看完这4张照片，你会觉得人类有多么独特，有多么伟大吗？塔特教授认为，外星生命的存在不是个问题，问题是我们要如何找到它们呢？派出无人太空团是一个方法。但那就像是在汪洋大海当中，我们抛出一个瓶中信，期待有人捡到它，这个机会相当的渺茫。相对之下，发射电波应该是一个比较有效率的方法，而这也是塔特教授他正在进行的工作。他花了40年的时间在寻找外星生命，他究竟发现到了什么吗？忙了1个星期，又到了令人期盼的星期五晚上。但这群台大同学没有急着要去聚餐约会，还不下课，他们等在天文数学馆。这堂课没有学分的，却是千载难逢的一堂课，因为他们即将要迎接的是2位世界级的顶尖科学家吉尔塔特和威廉夏夫。主题是令人兴奋的寻找外星生命。
不论我们在这宇宙是孤单还是不是孤单，这都是非常令人惊讶的这个结果。
想要知道外星是不是真的有生物，事实上应该是有。
站在台上侃侃而谈的，就是在天文生物学界大名鼎鼎的科学家，他是寻找外星生命的权威。他的故事曾经搬上好莱坞的大荧幕。
I don't consider what could potentially be the most important discovery of the human race nonsense, okay? There's 400 billion stars out there. We're not even...
Well, Carl Sagan wrote a book that was then made into a movie, and the book was about a woman who does what I do. In the movie, the heroine detects the signal, right? I haven't had that experience yet.
What I meant to say is that the message was written in the language of science. Now, if it had been religious in nature, it should have taken on the form of a burning bush or a big booming voice from the sky.
Because I'm forever meeting young people, younger scientists, who say to me, I got inspired by that movie. That's why I became an astronomer.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
Do you think there's people on other planets?
I don't know, Sparks. But I guess I'd say, if it is just us, it seems like an awful waste of space.
其实全人类都和这个小女生一样的好奇，抬头仰望满天星斗时，总想着在某一颗遥远的星球上，会不会同时间也有人正在望着我们呢？这些外星人他们长得什么样子呢？
I think that the life beyond Earth, aliens, extraterrestrials that Hollywood creates is very limited, very unimaginative, right? Even now that we have all of these fantastic digital tools to create virtual creatures, they still have a whole lot in common with life as we know it. Potentially, life somewhere else could be unimaginably different.
E.T. home phone.
But, you know, oh boy, he was, you know, he had to call home all the time, you know. He didn't have a good cell phone, I think. Anyway, he was a cute little guy, but this was for entertainment. This was a cartoon. This was a comic strip. This was, but it raised the question about what do extraterrestrials look like if they exist? You know, an interesting question.
Go back. Huh? Try back a little bit. You had something there. There.
Right there?
Yeah, you hear it? Right there.
Yep.
That's it.
科学家架起了巨大的电波望远镜，向外太空发射讯号，同时也接收讯号。这是现阶段在人类的有限科技当中，我们寻找外星生命的主要方法。但每天有多少来自宇宙间的奇怪电波射向地球？我们又要如何的判断哪些是真正来自外星人的讯号呢？
How do we know that the signal that we detect is being produced by someone's technology as opposed to Mother Nature, as opposed to being astrophysical? And so we tweak our instruments to find signals at optical wavelengths or radio wavelengths or in the infrared part of the spectrum, find signals that we think were engineered. Signals that look like something nature doesn't produce. But in the end, we have to say, we may not yet be smart enough to understand what a technology somewhere else is doing. So we have to stick around long enough to invent the technologies we need.
Right ascension, 18 hours, 36 minutes, 56.2 seconds. Hey, is anybody awake in there? I'm moving there.
在宇宙的时间里，一个人的生命存在只是眨眼间的功夫。塔特教授他穷极了一生的努力，他已经花了40年的时间，他的人生都在聆听宇宙传来的声音。他到底听见了什么？
And I think what you may have been asking me was, have we ever thought we found a signal from extraterrestrial intelligence, right? And it's happened a couple of times. And it was pretty exciting. One case, it took us more than 2 days to figure out what it was that we'd found. But in all cases so far, it's turned out to be our own technology that was fooling us. And when that happens, then you change your experiment so that it won't happen again, so that you won't get fooled in the same way again. And you go forward and see what you find.
搞了半天才发现，原来是人类自己发射的乌龙讯号。尽管空欢喜一场，但这些小挫折并没有打击到科学家继续向外太空探索的信心和决心。也许我们真的曾经接受过外星人的讯息，只可惜当年的科技水平没有能力解读。最著名的例子就是发生在1977年，美国俄亥俄州的一名科学家，他透过了巨耳无线电望远镜，他探测到了一组长达72秒钟的外太空讯号。这特征显示，它来自太阳系外的行星。
All right, it's restarting. Wait a minute, those are numbers.
And back then, our computers were really pretty lame. The best we could do was record some information and once a week or so, someone would show up at the telescope and look at the printout from the computer and see if there were any signals there. Well, one day there was a very strong signal, and the gentleman who retrieved the data wrote "wow" in the margin.
I got it! I got it! I got it! I'm patched in!
All right, let me hear it. See that?
That was a signal. There's no denying that. It's a signal from something. Nevertheless, it was so exciting, so strong, that the scientists just decided, well, we'll forget about those other tests and we'll go and try and find the signal again. And many hundreds of hours of telescope time at various telescopes around the world have been used to try and follow up on that signal. It's never been found again.
You have to remember, Dr. Tarter is absolutely right that we are enormously young both in terms of even formal science. That's only what, quote, modern science, a couple hundred years old, 250 years old.
夏夫教授点醒了我们，别忘了200多年前人类还在点蜡烛呢，所以塔特教授也认为，应该要把找寻彼此的任务交给科技文明远远超越人类的外星人。
They don't line up.
They do. If you think like a pagan. An alien intelligence has got to be more advanced, and that means efficiency functioning on multiple levels and in multiple dimensions.
Yes, of course. Where's the primer?
You'll see. Every three-dimensional page contains a piece of the primer. There it was all the time, staring you in the face.
在电影里，科学家解开了这个来自外星生命的秘密，发现是一个交通工具的蓝图。